Welcome back to Gaijin Hideout. I'm your host, Jeff. With me, as always, is Jesse.
Yes, welcome.
And today we're coming fresh off of streaming Dragon's Dogma, which you can find on our channel every Sunday now at 4 p.m. EST. We've just finished another lovely live stream of Dragon's Dogma, and we are here to react to Dragon's Dogma 2 preview, our thoughts after 10 hours of gameplay by IGN. The final preview, the final gameplay of like the new game from their session with it. So
it's going to be a very high quality IGN reaction, is what you're telling me, Jeff.
Yeah,
We're
this is a
all
reaction to a
expecting that.
reaction. So
Fucking meta.
So let us know in the comments below whose reaction you prefer, IGN's reaction to the game or our reaction to IGN's reaction to the game. But without further ado, we're just going to jump into it because we just want to just get the verdict on this, I guess. So let's go. Oh, a griffin. We just saw one of these.
We just fought that almost, ran away.
Yeah, it ran away.
I thought it
Game
would be
looks great
a
as
simple
usual.
side quest. The owner of an apothecary enlisted my help to find his lost grandson who had been taken by wolves. As I followed the trail, I heard a screeching
I hate
noise
this guy's
from
voice,
above.
Jeff.
Okay, well, just bear with it, okay? He's doing his best.
yeah,
He's trying
sorry.
his best.
His best sucks. Right.
Oh, my God.
All of a sudden,
Oh,
All right.
that's cool.
That is
That's
quite
really cool.
That is quite the
I like that.
upgrade from the griffin we just encountered in the old
I
game.
know. It's going to be like Last Guardian vibes with all those feathers ruffling and whatnot.
That's pretty sick.
I'm in a battle for my life against a griffin. It's a monster that's far too strong for my party to handle, but we fight and claw and hold our ground until finally we get it to retreat. I breathe a sigh of relief, then set up at the nearby camp and sleep till nightfall. That's
Okay.
That sounds kind of like what happened to us, you know?
It sounds exactly like what just happened to us, in fact, yeah.
Even last stream, we just randomly got mogged by the griffin, like wandering around.
What is with griffins? You know, a lot of bad neighborhoods full of griffins everywhere. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, they just have it out for us.
Sleep is then interrupted by the same griffin back for revenge.
Oh, no.
That's your dumb fault, dude.
That
Okay.
fight somehow boils
Oh,
over into
that
another
looks
battle
scary.
with White, who
Oh.
proceeds to beat me
Whoa.
within an inch of my life before I finally take him out.
Looking enemies
Just
there.
I think
like his ice blade.
I think comments told us that this is from this is also in the old game as well. We just haven't gotten to it yet, but
Okay.
it looks fucking sick in the new one. Grim
Oh.
He
Reaper.
proceeds to
kidding.
beat me within an inch of my life before I finally take him out, just as the sun rises after an epic 20-minute battle.
What?
20 minutes?
It's nice music.
I can't get over the glowing swords is definitely alluring, you know, like the flame sword, magic sword.
Yeah,
whatever
it's
this is.
very interesting seeing just the enormous fucking graphical upgrade this game's gotten after God knows how many years at this point, 10 years or something.
Yeah, we're still digging into the first one, so to just see all this in the second one, and it's gonna look like that. It's gonna be more of what we're playing now, but it's like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
None of this was part of the actual quest involving saving the boy. It was just a series of events that cascaded
Oh,
into
no.
one of the most unforgettable encounters
Whoa, that's an interesting facial animation.
What a punchable face!
I've ever had in an open-world action RPG. And it was just one of the incredible encounters I experienced
Oh,
during
that's
the
great.
10 hours that I spent adventuring through Dragon's Dogma 2's fantastic open world.
Okay.
While I
Yeah.
didn't get to start from the very beginning, I did
Catman,
get to begin
yes.
with the creation of my own pawn. Pawns, for those unfamiliar with the first Dragon's Dogma, are AI-controlled companions that gain gear,
We're pretty familiar with Dragon's Dogma. We've kind of been streaming this game for a few weeks. We're a big deal. We know what pawns are. Come on now.
skills, and experience from your game, and then take all of that with them online where they can be hired by other players.
Yeah, they
to be
really just
companions
kept a
in
lot
their
of this stuff, man. That's awesome.
It is the same general setup. I'm glad to know. I'm gonna be prepped for the.
We're gonna just slip right into this game. It's not gonna be a big deal. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
good.
it's just,
That's good. So, okay,
Yeah.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
their own games. I'm not going to spend too much time on either pawns or character creation, especially because we've already made those videos. But what I will say is that pawns are integral to one of my big takeaways, which is that exploration and discovery in Dragon's Dogma 2 feels much more natural than ever before. First and foremost, there are no more quest boards. There are no markers that appear above people's heads letting you know who's got a quest, and any sort of symbols placed on your map to let you know of points of interest are kept to a
what the
minimum.
fuck? Wait, well, that's a big map. Whoa.
This is like Dragon's Dogma all grown up.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get rid of
Think
these.
your grandpa's Dogma.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to not cling to the map marker as a crutch anymore.
No, this is going to be a real challenge for you, Joe.
Well, maybe that means it's like Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild, where the open world
That's
design's
true.
been thought out really carefully. You know,
One would hope. One would
yeah.
hope.
As such, you'll really rely on your pawns and NPCs to guide you through Dragon's Dogma 2's world.
Really?
NPCs
Okay.
will, more often than not, be the ones to approach you with opportunities for side quests, as opposed to it being the other way around.
I guess it makes sense if you're famous. If you're like a famous Arisen or, you know, whatever the version
Whatever
is.
they are now. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
You wouldn't happen to have seen a pretty stone.
You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap?
Pawns will also point out objects of interest.
That's a little jerky looking. How they like grab your camera.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're still working
It's
on
fine.
it.
It's
Good
fine.
spot for harvesting ingredients.
Boulders that can be destroyed to find a path that leads to treasure.
If you need that
I do like it. It's a good looking game, man.
Oh, but this was like in the first one too. Like we've been,
Yeah.
I'm getting hints from pawns all the time because my dumbass like
I
can't figure
do,
it
yeah.
out, so,
I enjoy that.
yeah.
And they've given us occasionally some useful stuff, too.
Yeah.
Shall I assist?
Or if they already have knowledge of a
I like
quest
how he
from their
said that.
owner's game, they will straight up lead you to those quests if you give them the go-ahead. All of this leads to a style of exploration and adventuring that feels very organic and appropriately rewarding, very much in the same way that Elden Ring and the two most recent Zelda games do.
Perfect. Okay, perfect.
You just fucking said that, Jeff. What
I
the
know.
fuck?
I know. Well, I mean, it was the obvious.
From the future.
Yeah. I should be a games journalist. We're kind of like games journalists.
Well, I'm sorry, Jeff. You're not slurring your words and, lisping enough.
Okay.
I don't think you're qualified.
As alluded to in the intro to this preview, you also never really know what to expect once you set out to pursue a quest lead. The very act of exploring
God.
beyond the safety of the city's walls is unpredictable, dangerous.
Oh my God.
Come on now, bitch. Come with me, motherfucker.
There's got to be like a strat for like how to quickly traverse the world by just getting
got troll
abducted
jacked.
by this troll.
Which is why it's so exciting.
Oh my God, that's
We're going for a
fucking
ride,
crazy.
baby.
Oh,
Over the course of my
That's
10
funny.
hours, I got to play with a total of 5 vocations.
Mm-hmm.
Fighter, Mage, Warrior, Sorcerer, and Trickster, which you can watch a whole other
I
video
like the
all about.
Trickster class.
Unlike
That
the
seems
first
fun.
game, which had you unlocking advanced vocations simply by leveling up the base ones, the two advanced
okay. Well, there you go. We did that today.
Just
Actually,
did that. We
Yeah.
just did all of this, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and it's kind of a pain. So I want to know what this is. What this is like.
game, which had you unlocking advanced vocations simply by leveling up the base ones, the two advanced vocations were actually unlocked via a quest. After visiting the
Oh.
Vocation Guild, I was given a quest to retrieve a greatsword and an archstaff. And after
They
doing
just made a guild out of the jobs, the vocation guild. I respect it. I respect the straightforwardness of it.
Yeah.
If it's going to make the game more enjoyable,
the Vocation Guild,
go for
I was
it.
given a quest to retrieve a greatsword and an archstaff. And after doing so, I unlocked both the Warrior and Sorcerer vocations. I don't know if all of them will be
Okay.
unlocked this way, and I didn't get a chance to unlock any of the hybrid ones, like Mystic Spearhand or Magic Archer, but I definitely
Mystic Spearhand? Do they have that in
Mystic Spearhand?
Mystic
I
Spearhand?
don't remember that. No.
Is that new? They have Magic Archer, right? That's what we're
Yeah,
thinking I'm
Magic
gonna
Archer. You got, I think, Mystic Warrior. I don't know about Spearhand.
do. Oh,
like
Could be
the
new,
idea
yeah.
of not having to grind vocations in order to unlock others. My personal favorite of the vocations I got to try was by far the Warrior, who maintains
Well,
the fantasy
you know, IGN journalist, insert joke here.
about what? Oh, the Warrior,
Yeah, it's just
big dumb default class. Yeah.
there. Yeah,
My
there.
favorite of the vocations I got to try was by far the Warrior, who maintains the fantasy of being the great sword
This combat even looks epic, man. Like
looks
in the
good,
dark
yeah.
and everything, like the
wielding
particle
badass
effects going
that
on.
brings
or whatever.
giant beasts to their
I do
knees.
appreciate that because we've been struggling with the lighting in the
In the
you know, first
original,
game.
yeah, I mean, it's a great game, but that is the part that aged the worst.
Perpetually dark.
Is the fighting in the dark. It's so painful.
With just one charged strike, but also adds a few more tricks to the
Whoa,
repertoire.
yeah, that is way
Hideaki
better.
Itsuno heard feedback that the warrior didn't feel like
That's
a
the
super
best way to
viable
light up
location
the
in
area,
first
Jeff,
game,
is with
and thus
constant
worked hard
fiery
to get
explosions.
What did you say? Oh, light it up with yeah. That's the ideal way. All right, let me hear what you said
but
here.
also adds a few more tricks to the repertoire. Director Hideaki Itsuno heard feedback that the warrior didn't feel like a super viable vocation in the first game, and thus worked hard to give them some new elements to bring
Really?
out their strengths.
That I mean, I agree with that because our first playthrough where we were trying
that's
it
right. Yeah, you played a
last
warrior.
year, I was a warrior, and I didn't feel like I got very into it. And then this current one we're doing, I'm a rogue, and I'm just fucking running a train on some of these enemies, man. But
I know. I love the double jump.
But this
amazing.
looks way more like badass, you know.
Yeah.
If this is what warriors get, you know.
For starters,
Let's
we've
see.
jacked up the warrior's offense and destructive
Jacked
power
it up.
to the
Nice.
point where it's unfair.
Really?
On stage, its abilities
It's
take a little
unfair. Oh,
longer to
okay.
Oh, its abilities take a little longer to execute. Oh, it's like a greatsword build, like from Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
used the
Berserk or
greatsword build
something.
in Elden Ring. It's a lot of fun.
execute. This makes the vocation somewhat difficult to use, but that's where the tackle comes into
The
play.
tackle?
If you're attacked, you can use the tackle to cause an enemy to be stunned instead of being stunned yourself, making it easier to get into the vocation.
Oh, so like
Interesting.
I'm imagining the enemy's going to swing, and then you like do a tackle, and then it stuns them, and then you get to like heft your giant sword and fucking club them. That could work.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
good. Just does that count as like a parry, but for a warrior, it's like a full body parry?
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah.
Interesting.
The tackle he's referring to is a new ability called Barge that allows the warrior to execute
Oh, look at
I
that.
see. It's like a little
even while
shoulder
they're
bump.
charging an attack to interrupt and potentially stun any enemy that's trying to stuff their attack. The vocation, after all,
That's nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesse, do you remember I was talking about? It looks like it knocks him back. Oh, perfect. We could.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Any enemy near a cliff, okay? Which mental note when we play this game. Any enemy that's near a cliff, we have to barge. We have to see if we can kill like things we're under
Well,
level
Jeff,
4 with
we
fall
also have
damage.
teammates.
Oh, there's also that. But you want to kill the teammates? Okay.
Well, you know.
That was just, again, that was my favorite part of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I didn't play an Assassin's Creed game in a billion years, but they let you do like a Spartan kick of somebody, and it was supposed to
That's funny.
knock them back and knock them out, but you could Spartan kick over leveled opponents like off a building, and the fall damage would kill them. So, that's great. I might have to be a warrior.
to interrupt
Yeah,
and
well, we'll
potentially
see. We'll see. I'm sure they've similarly buffed up the rest of the classes, right? Well, you know.
Probably. I mean, the tricksters also. It's all very appealing, honestly. Like a lot of what
Yeah.
I've seen.
stun any enemy that's trying to stuff their attack. The vocation, after all, is built around being able to charge up massively powerful
Oh,
attacks
guts.
that deals
Damn.
humongous damage.
Damn.
So this small change goes a long way in making it a little easier to get those
Wow.
big shots off.
Wow,
My
that is
favorite
just
new addition for the
that is just like a piece of like pipe like attached to a sword at that point. Like you pulled that out of the plumbing.
Construction equipment, yeah.
warrior, though, is a passive skill that allows you to swing regular attacks much more quickly if you're able to precisely time your next button press with when the attack actually lands. This gives a nice rhythm to the warrior's combat and allows a skilled player to compensate for the typical weakness of having a very slow attack while still making those very slow and powerful attacks still feel like they have their own place in the warrior's skill set. Also, if you're like me and enjoy the feeling of leaping off cliffs and slamming your weapon down on a monster's head, this is the vocation
That's you
for
to
you.
a T, Jeff.
Oh my god. All right. Okay. Okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
All right. You know, I think you were kind of clowning on the IGN guy, but I think he's kind of making a convincing case for the warrior in this instance. Okay, it's pretty good.
I will submit that you are correct, Jeff. Yes.
Yeah.
for
Let's,
you.
that's so good.
I unfortunately didn't get deep enough into the Sorcerer vocation to see any of the really big,
IGN,
crazy
no.
Get fucked, Jesse. Get fucked. IGN says get fucked, Jesse. This is Jesse likes mages. So.
spells that
It's
they're so beloved
fine,
for,
it's fine. It
but
looks
what I
fun.
really enjoyed
Yeah,
about
not
the
too worried
Sorcerer
about it.
was the addition of a unique skill called Galvanize.
Oh,
This
okay.
allows you to go into a stance that recovers your stamina extremely quickly, which is especially useful for the Sorcerer due to the fact that their spells take so long to cast. To shorten those spells, you need to use a skill called Quick Spell, which allows you to spend stamina to reduce a spell's cast time. All of this leads to a careful balance of preparing to cast a powerful spell, using Quick Spell to shorten its cast time, and then making note of whether you have enough stamina to cast another spell, or whether you have to break away and use Galvanize to get your stamina back up. It's a fun dance that makes Sorcerer feel a lot more active than in the past.
What do you think about that? Bringing the stamina bar.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I've seen other games do similar stuff where you have to do a kind of like seesaw kind of deal. It's better. I suppose it is. It does feel a little bit like busy work, but I guess it's just better than just like sitting there doing nothing, as you so often do in many other games where you play a wizard. Like, oh, I need to sit here for 10 seconds and let my mana refill. At least they give you kind of something to do, you know?
I'm a big fan of these like action RPGs, and it's really only I've seen this in Dragon's Dogma, to be honest. But I'm a big fan of like this concept of the action RPG, like eliminating ammo. Like,
oh yeah, that's
you know,
right. Yeah,
because like you don't have to worry about like MP or whatever for this, I guess.
Well, they're leaning into the power fantasy of it. I mean, how much of a fucking how much of a power fantasy is it really if you constantly have to worry about, you know, the number of arrows you have and stuff like that? So.
Right, because that's what like because that's why I like the rogue so much in my playthrough that I'm doing right now of Dragon's Dogma. The first one is because like you don't have to manage like every other game. It's like you have to buy arrows, craft arrows. Oh, I'm out of arrows. I literally can't do anything with the bow.
It's
now.
just at a certain point, it's just tedious. I mean, it can work very well in the right kind of game. This ain't that fucking game.
No, this game is about. It's about power.
It's about kicking ass.
Yeah. So the power of distance.
Dragon's Dogma 2's open world is enormous, reported to be roughly 4 times the size of the already huge map in the first
Look
game.
how slowly they're traveling, Jeff.
Oh no, we were just complaining about how far away quests were. This griffin attacked us and flew to the other side of the map.
16 times the detail.
Oh no. We're just gonna only stream this game, I think. Like we're gonna have to like it's gonna be our like 9 to 5 or something. Oh my god.
And I don't doubt that claim in my experience of checking out the map and wandering through just a small portion of it.
You recognize this move, Jeff?
It's also dense with exciting encounters.
Holy shit, he's fast.
Wait, yeah, that's the rogue, isn't it?
You got that.
Oh
totally.
yeah, I had
that's what
that.
you've been doing that.
I don't
flash
doubt that
move.
claim in my experience of checking out the map and wandering through just a small portion
Look
of
how
it.
fucking fast
It's
he
big,
is,
but
too,
it's
man.
also
Jesus.
dense with exciting encounters both on and off the beaten path.
He did just leap all the way off screen. That was funny.
That were paced nicely, so I wasn't constantly slowed down by back-to-back battles.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did he say? He said about he was talking about side quests.
And I don't doubt that claim in my experience of checking out the map and wandering through just a small portion of it. It's big, but it's also dense with exciting encounters both on and off the beaten path that were paced nicely, so I wasn't
So there's
constantly
stuff to do. It's
slowed
not just
down
a big
by back-to-back battles,
open, empty
but
world.
I also never went too long without having something to engage with. One thing that was
Okay, so
important
it's engaging, but it's not gonna like wreck you. You know, you're not gonna get drained of everything.
to Eat Snow and the team at Capcom was making sure that the players really felt the distance that they were traveling as they explored. To that end, fast travel is very limited like in the first game. You can only travel between discovered port crystals, and every time you do, you must expend a fairy stone, which are highly valuable items that don't come cheap and aren't easily found.
Let us know in the comments, by the way, Dragon's Dogma players, like what is your like go-to strategy with using port crystals and fairy stones? Do you really like you just go to the edges of the map or like parts that are very far out there and you only place them there, or do you place them in like often visited areas? Because we have some, and I don't want to use them, even though it's so tempting to like put one near Grand Soren or somewhere where I can just like warp back to. And I just don't know. I just don't know what the best move here is for that, because I've never had it like so limited like that. I've either had no fast travel or fast travel.
Yeah, I'm not really used to that either, where it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah. So, yeah, let us know about that.
Another option you have for getting around is using an ox cart, which is relatively cheap, but they are limited in the fact that you can't choose where you travel. The main one that I found only went from the capital city of Vernworth to the checkpoint town, which was far to the west.
It's a bus. It's like a bus route.
It's a public fucking bus. No!
You have to play the game, Jesse. You have to be in the world, okay? There's
Gotta
no map
immerse
markers,
myself.
no real fast traveling. You have to be in it, okay?
Die in the game, die in real life, Jeff.
Yeah.
You also have to consider that ox carts are not a completely safe way to travel, as they often will be ambushed
Lovely.
by all manners of beasts.
And
They're
they
also
look
not a
so-
fast way to travel. Look at this.
Yeah, they look so slow, dude.
You'd be better off walking, crawling even.
You've awakened. It's like the Skyrim thing all over.
It does look like that. You're right.
Often will be ambushed by all manners of beasts. Of course, you can just hoof it on foot, which is where you'll truly feel the weight of that distance, especially due to the new health restoration mechanic known as the loss gauge. In the first game,
like,
you'd be able
camp or
to
whatever.
heal your entire life bar by using health restorative items, and recoverable gray health with spells. In Dragon's Dogma 2, however, every hit diminishes a portion of your max health, and the only ways to restore it are either by finding a campfire to rest at, or returning to an inn and resting for the night. Fortunately,
Alright,
if you
that's
rest at a
interesting.
campfire, you can also cook some meat and get
What's
some
with
much
this
needed
stock
buffs,
footage
in
of-
addition to
They just
What the fuck?
They just put
IGN.
They
What are you
just
doing
put
here?
cooking stock footage.
Come
in the
on.
video. How to
Oh my
YouTube with
God.
IGN. That is kind of funny though. It's like me and the boys vibe from like Final Fantasy 15 and other games.
Oh, here we go again. All
Yeah,
right.
it reminds me of my favorite game that I will never not bring up, Final Fantasy 15, where it's you and your bros on a road trip, and every time you want to rest up, you're cooking food. You know,
restoring all of your life. But there's a risk involved with
that's literally the only thing that the games have in common. That's just a joke.
resting at a campfire
Yeah,
as
that's it.
well. The flames may attract monsters to your campsite, and
What?
as I mentioned at the beginning of this preview, you could
I
actually
guess
wake
that's what
up to an
happened with the
angry
griffin, I don't
griffin
know.
coming back to finish what it started.
Oh, they can like interrupt your sleep. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's kind of D&D-ish almost.
This game really knows how to keep you on edge, man. Like this series.
Well, I respect that they're really trying to immerse you. It for sometimes those games land for me. Other times I'm like, Jesus, dude, I got a fucking life. All right, I'm not trying to be here all day.
Yeah. Well, just as long as you can save and quit whenever, which generally speaking for the first one you've been able to, that should be fine. But yeah, I can imagine a scenario where it's like, okay, I'm gonna wind down, I'm gonna log off for the night, and I'm just gonna rest at this campfire, and then I'll quit. And then you rest, and a fucking griffin,
Seven-headed Hydra comes to eat you and your party.
Yeah, your mom's yelling at you to like come to dinner, and you're like, I can't, it won't let me.
Can't. This is my life now. Sorry, Mom.
That's funny.
What it all comes down to is this. Virtually every action in Dragon's Dogma 2 has some combination of a cost and a risk tied to it. Fairy stones are risk-free travel, but they come at a very steep price. Ox carts are a low-cost but moderately risky method of travel, and traveling on foot is
An
free,
extremely
but
slow method.
extremely risky. Then you must also consider whether it's worth it to press on in a quest line with low max
It's
health
very,
or
very
backtrack.
intriguing. I like that they kind of took everything in the main game and just really expanded it and took what it was good at and just kind of built on that, you know?
Yeah,
it looks promising.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be like an upgrade. You know, it's an upgrade. I mean, it's new, but it's like it's a new game, but it feels like they're just upgrading the existing.
You know, it kind of
game.
reminds me of like Tears of the Kingdom a little, right?
like how that was an upgrade for
Yeah.
for Breath of the Wild. Yeah. No, yeah, it does remind me of that in a good way. If it ain't, I'm a big fan of that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You don't need to, reinvent the wheel and all that. So
Back to a town to resupply, whether you should avoid fighting the giant tanky ogre, or risk it all on trying to bring it down for both the experience and rare material reward, whether you should keep on the less dangerous beaten path, or take a detour into the unknown. In the 10 hours that I played, these were very compelling decisions to have to make. But the real test will be whether those decisions remain compelling or turn exhausting in hour 20 or 30 when the map has expanded dramatically and you still have quests remaining to complete in a town that you're super far away from. Hypotheticals aside,
This
though,
game really
I
is your
love
life
just
now, I guess.
yeah. So I mean, what's interesting about what he's saying with the decisions and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go here, I'm gonna go here. The only game where I've really felt like that was in Tears of the Kingdom, and like when we streamed Tears of the Kingdom, there was like several streams where it was just like like for the first 5 or 6 streams, first 20 hours of the game, it was
getting lost.
It was just yeah, I was getting lost. It was like, you know what? Let's do this thing. You know what? Let's do this thing. Oh, let's do this and let's do this thing. So if we're able to do that with this game, that would actually be pretty cool. Because I don't know how good of content it makes, but personally, that was the most fun I had. Like with the,
I do like that quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we can like label those streams like
We'll
getting
see.
lost getting lost in Dragon's
Getting
Dogma
lost.
2,
Well, we
part
should
1,
put that
2,
on
3,
all our
4.
streams. Jesus.
I guess we are doing that a lot lately, but
Complete in a town that you're super far away from. Hypotheticals aside though, I love just about every moment that I spent playing Dragon's Dogma 2 during this preview window.
good looking game,
It doubles
man.
down on everything that I love.
beautiful.
Oh, there's the
Oh, the
Saurians.
lizards.
The Saurians.
filthy
Look at that.
lizards.
Oh, they look pretty good, man.
Scary. Yeah.
They look more fucked
Make some
up.
Fuck with
smart
these
improvements
lizards.
to the way quests are handled and how you explore its giant world, and the little taste that I got of the Vocations is
Guy
a
lost his
tantalizing
tail.
reminder of why Dragon's Dogma
Yeah.
is one of the best in the genre when it comes to delivering on the various power fantasies tied to the classic RPG archetypes. Even after all I played,
The
I
Griffin looks so good, man.
Yeah, all
The
all
Wii
enemies
field
look
and everything. Look at
amazing.
this.
still feel like I just
know.
scratched the surface on what Capcom has in store for players.
It's crazy
Dragon's
going directly from the previous game to this.
I know. We literally were just playing it at like 10 minutes ago. It's crazy. Or 20 minutes
Dogma
ago.
2 releases on March 22nd.
All right, Jesse. There you go. We got till March 22nd to beat
Right around the corner.
Beat the first one. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It looks really
It looks
good.
great.
It looks
Yeah.
it looks really solid. Really looking forward to it. And I'm glad that I'm glad to hear some of the things that the guy was saying. It sounds like it's going to be a continuation of these newer, what would you call it, like S-tier open world games where it's not just an open sandbox with map markers. It's like you're getting lost in it. And it's like, for me, that was like Tears of the Kingdom and also to a strong degree Elden Ring as well. And
Yeah.
not a lot of other games have really like felt like that yet. But like, I'm a big fan of like the open world games going in that direction.
I'm glad they're kind of letting you know what you're in for too, with a lot of the commitment that's going on here in terms of like travel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me, I need to be mentally prepared, just because sometimes if I don't go in the right mindset, it really fucks with me. I'm so used to all this convenience bullshit at this point. Skyrim has babified me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I playing Dragon's Dogma, the first one, it's definitely like the opposite of that. Like they take the training wheels off, the moment you boot the game up. But the way that they do it is, I'm not mad at the game ever, really. I'm just like, oh, this is like kind of a pain in the ass or whatever. Oh, I guess I'll do this. So it's like an interesting way of like kind of upping the difficulty on you compared to other games. So I
Yeah.
trust them to do the same with this game, basically. So, but on that note, thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. We go live every Sunday at 4 p.m. EST now to stream Dragon's Dogma. We're going to be streaming it all the way up until the second one comes out, and then we're going to switch to the second one. So, and we also do other games on Fridays at 5 p.m. EST and Saturdays at 4 p.m. EST. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.
See ya.